football time again.
All right, that's staying in. Hey everyone, welcome to Teen Talks. Welcome to another episode. We're so happy to have you here. We've officially launched. Actually, yesterday was our official launch day. Even though we filmed, like we have so many episodes that are already ready and that are even out, but yesterday was the official launch day on all of our social media and everything. So we're really excited for this to actually be real now, which is cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Put ourselves out there.
Yeah, that's good.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So what were you telling me? You were literally just saying something to me just before we started.
I was, yeah. So I was just listening to a podcast because I listen to lots of podcasts, and this one they were talking about mastermind groups and how mastermind groups help you to elevate yourself if you're in the right one. So, like a mastermind group might be a group of people, small group, it doesn't matter, large group, whatever, but it's a safe place where you level up. The whole purpose is to challenge each other, help each other, encourage each other, and all those things.
Yeah.
And how much it really, when you're one, it's very lonely and stuff. When you have a group that pushes you and challenges you and listens to you and cares for you, it changes the ball game. It's like all of a sudden you just 10x, you 10x what you can do. And it just made me think about family and who our kids hang around with and all of that. Are they leveling up? Are they helping them to do this, or are they just doing this, or are they bringing them down?
Yeah.
It's so important who they hang out with, who all of us hang out with.
It's so important, I think, and this whole, especially the fact that we're social beings, right? Human beings in general are social beings, and it's hard to live completely independently. And in fact, it's
lonely.
lonely, and especially when you're a kid or a teen, it's one of those things where even though sometimes it doesn't seem like it, because some teenagers are like, I don't want to be around anyone, but I think like we crave that connection. We need that connection. We need to be surrounded with people, and so being surrounded with the right people is super important, because on one hand, and we've touched on this a few times, but you have family, which is given, right? Family is something you can't really change, but then you have your friends and you choose those friends. And I think it's super important to talk about choosing the right people to surround yourself with outside of the home environment, because that can influence and impact the decisions you make. It can influence and impact the life you live later on as well. So I don't know if you want to touch upon that a little bit.
Well, yeah, it's like there's the phrases, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, the people you hang around with is who you become. And it is so true. Well, I mean, I've touched about this with high school, but who you hang around with is so important to lift you up. And it's so funny because there's so many different kinds of friends that you have in your life. And some of them, the ones you really want around you, are the ones that they're going to say, I want you to be better. I want you to succeed. Then there's those other ones that they just kind of like, oh, don't get any better than me, or why are you doing so much? Those, I've had friends like that. And it's really like, after a while, you have to go, no, apparently you're not my close friend because you don't want me to get better. You don't want me to succeed. Why does it hurt you if I get better? So I think it's really crucial to think about who you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
Not only as a parent and a teen, a parent, anybody, but teens especially, because you're in the growth years where you are going to be making decisions on what you're going to do, and you're starting to build and grow and learn, and you got people bringing you down, that's not, or don't want you to grow and learn and get better. That's not going to be helpful.
Yeah. And also, like, I'm just thinking, like, because I know I experienced this recently where, I was in high school, and I always told myself, like, I know a lot of people, but I have very few friends. But the only reason why I personally believe that I was able to distinguish who my real friends were from everyone else, like the acquaintances and the people I knew, was because I also knew about me. And we talk about this all the time, is a whole self-awareness thing, knowing who you are. And that's why, like, the friends that I have now are my close friends. They know they know me. They know that I'm not gonna, if they have like a party going on, I'm not gonna join them because I that's not I'd rather be, either working or training or doing something else.
And they're
Um,
good with that?
they're completely good with that. They support it, they encourage it. They're sometimes they'll even ask, like, did you train today? Did you do all this stuff? And then, like, I tell them, yeah, and then they're happy for me. And so it's a very healthy bond with the friends that I have today. But you do meet the occasional person who's like, exactly what you said. They want you to be better, but not better than them.
Right.
And that's really toxic because
Mhm.
then it means that they're comparing themselves to you all the time. It means that they don't want you to succeed, um, or at least succeed more than them. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just one of those things where it's super important to choose the right people. And I think in order to choose the right people, once again, you have to know who you are, right? You have to have
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
Yeah. I did want to add one thing. This made me think about something because I was thinking about how, as teens grow up and they become adults, there's some sort of a saying where, they are the result of their, like, upbringing and their childhood, and that
Mhm.
includes, like, their parents, their mentors, their friends, and the whole mix of everything. And I was thinking about my situation because there are three people in my life who have raised me, right? The three main people. So I have both of my parents, so my mom and my dad, and that was until I was 13. And when I was 13, I moved to France and I started living with my grandmother. And obviously, with technology and everything, I'm still able to talk to my parents and stuff, but the person who was physically there, like, taking care of me in some way, in fact, in many ways, was my grandmother. And I'll kind of just give some context and to describe her a little bit. Imagine taking a ball of just kindness and a ball of pure love. You mix the two together, and then that ball, like, has the biggest smile. Okay, literally that is literally her. And family,
Beautiful.
friends, everyone who meets her, like, they feel that way too. So I'm not just being biased. I love her so much. She is just incredible. Um, and when I was there, because I was 13, I think I was living with her from the age of 13 to about 16.
Mhm.
And when I was living with her, I had a lot of freedom. Like, she didn't know everything that was going on in my life. If I wanted to, I could have made decisions where, I wasn't going to school and telling her I was going to school. Or, I had so much freedom. And I sometimes I did, make the most of that freedom. And we can get into that in another episode where we'll
Oh, wait, wait,
all
wait,
my
wait. I
teenage.
thought you were the perfect child.
No, no, no. I am. Yeah, yeah, I am the perfect child.
We might learn something here.
Not today, another time.
I'm not the only one.
Stay tuned. Yeah, go watch Susan's episode where she talks about all the stuff that she got up to. Um, no, but she wasn't the one telling me what to do, how to live my life, how to behave, none of that stuff. But her just being her influenced me. And I only realized this recently, like a couple of years ago. And keep in mind, like, it's been 4 years, I think 4 years, even possibly longer, that I haven't been living with her
Mhm.
in a while. And there are some traits that she has and some of the values that she has that I've been able to take with me and that I naturally just took on in my own life. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because there are two things I think that I want to touch on is, first of all, for the parents who want to share things with their kids. There's one way to do it, and that's to tell them how they should be, what they should be doing, and to just communicate it and vocalize it. But there's another way, and it's to show up that way. It's to demonstrate how you want them to be. And that
Mhm.
just simply is by being you, being your authentic self and showing up in that positive way, being the light for them so that they see that and then they're like, you know what? I want to be like that. And then
Yeah.
the second thing is you might be doing that. You might be giving it everything, feeling like you're doing everything, but unfortunately they're not grasping it. I promise you, in their subconscious mind, somewhere in their brain, they've registered that and it's going to take time, but they're going to get it. They're going to
Yeah.
get there eventually. I
Mhm.
realized really recently the influence that my grandmother had on me, and I didn't think that she was gonna be a necessary like, I didn't think that she was gonna be an influence when it came to my behavior, how I was gonna act. I thought she was just gonna be there to support me, but no. I think I have gotten more from her when it comes to personality, behavior, than I do from both of my parents, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So, just keep that in mind and just, almost be okay with the fact that it might not be an immediate result. You might not be able to get like an immediate transformation or change right away.
Mhm.
Over time, it'll produce like it'll come to fruition. It's going to
Right.
happen. They're going to look back and they're going to be like, I remember when you said this and it stuck. I remember
Mhm.
when you showed up this way and I was like, okay, I want to be like that." And that's
Mhm.
going to happen. I think it's inevitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a wonderful point. I love that.
Yeah.
Um, and we oftentimes as parents don't see the results right away and you go, why? It gets frustrating, but it will sink in if it's consistent. If you're consistently modeling the behavior that you feel is important and you feel is, you want your child to be like, or, they're going to be themselves. But I mean, as far as values go, if they see you stick to the good values and in every decision or most every decision you make or things you do in life, then
Yeah.
they're going to go, yep, okay, she sticks to her values. And those are the values I believe in. And they might not right then, but they'll come back to them. So, yeah. The other thing I want to add to that, as far as parents go, is to also be vulnerable, be yourself, allow your emotions to come out, because if we are always not hiding emotions, like you've always heard that my parents never fought,
Yeah.
my parents never fought. And then you get back out and you go, oh, well, they got divorced, but they never fought. How
Mm,
did that happen? Because guess what happens? They didn't show any emotions, they were hiding them all.
yeah.
And so, not that that's the perfect emotion to say, but just like, if you're angry, let it out, get it out, and then go, oh, okay, I got that out.
Yeah.
And let them see that, because otherwise, if they don't see you have emotions, they're going to think their emotions are not normal.
Yeah.
And you think of a teenager at that time, your emotions are like crazy up and down. You're on a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
They don't know how to handle it,
Yeah.
and they think something's wrong with them.
Yeah.
And it's totally not true.
Yeah.
So when you're a parent, just be vulnerable, let it come out, and just say, wow, I'm really angry right now. Let it happen. Let them see it. Show how you handle that.
Yeah, and I think just to clarify, like, I'm pretty sure you're saying, like, it doesn't mean letting it out on them.
Oh, no, no, no.
Yeah, it's dealing with it on your own, but being okay showing that vulnerability because there's also like, you also have to be careful with, you know, what you say in front of them and how you react because you don't want to latch on to the only thing that you see and just start, like, letting it out on them. You want it to
Yeah.
be dealt, in a way that's healthy, that is healthy for them to see and witness.
Hmm.
Because then if that keeps if it is something that's negative and if you are lashing out on your teen, even though it's not their fault, there's something else going on in life, and it happens. I know it happens, but it hurts. It hurts the teen. It
Hmm.
it impact because it becomes heavy because it's almost like think about it this way. If you have a weighted vest, right? It's almost like adding another vest because it's more emotional weight. It's more
They
emotional
take it on. They
Be-
take that on, yeah.
because then it's like, well, mom or dad or whoever is feeling this way. So then boom, that's one weight. And then it happens again and it's another weight. You don't want them to have that weight on them. You want them to be free of the weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that also doesn't mean, like what you were saying, it doesn't mean to not show them anything, because you have to, in some way, you also have to show them the reality. You have to show them what's real, what's true, so that they can see it and they're okay with that reality. But the ideal is to find the place where you can show them how to deal with it in some way, and how it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to express it.
Yeah, because if life is full of challenges, I mean, we all know that. And if they don't ever see you dealing with challenges, or going through the emotions that come with challenge, and then rising above it, hopefully, and just say, this is, I'm dealing with this, and right now it's going to be okay, but I've got to get this out, or um, it's not you, it's not you. They see how to handle emotions when they go through them.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And also, one thing that is super important is to, like, I just wanted to bring up the fact, like, sometimes when you do lash out and other people get hurt, when you say sorry, because I know that, we get to that point where we're like, oh, I realize what I've just done. I need to apologize. When we say sorry, it's better than doing nothing. But when we do say sorry, it's too late, because the damages it's already happened, right? So, and we've talked about this in a previous episode of, like, how much what we say and what we do, how much that impacts, like, well, how much what parents do and what parents say, how much that, I was talking as if I was a parent of a teen. But how much that impacts the teen.
mhm.
So you have to be, unfortunately, I guess as parents, you have this responsibility where you have to just be aware of this stuff.
Yeah, but also, okay, so you bring that up, then I go, well, oh, I really messed up, man. I just said something that I didn't really want to say, or whatever. It is imperative that you go back to your teen and say something like, I don't know why I said that.
Yeah.
That I did not mean that. I am so sorry. And then reaffirm
Yeah.
something positive out of it that
Mm,
you would have said if you were not so heated, or something, or whatever. If you let it get away with you, we all make mistakes. But if we are brave enough, responsible enough, courageous enough to stick up to them and say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, that
yeah.
shows them you're also human too.
There we go.
And you're taking it off of them and saying, no, this is not you, it's me,
Yeah.
or, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
vitally important.
And then when
Because
that
we do make mistakes. I've said things that I go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just said that. I'm so sorry.
And then, but those are learning moments too, right? Like, it happens once, and then I think the first thing is to just say, like, you obviously recognize that it happens, and you're like, hey, I'm gonna make a conscious effort so that this doesn't happen again, right? And then
Mhm.
growth, and then it evolves, and you just have to, like, understand that no one's perfect. Everyone's gonna make mistakes. We're all human beings. We have emotions. We have all this stuff going on, and it's okay. At the end of the day, you just have to, like, have that heart and that pure heart to just be like, you know what? I understand I've made a mistake here. I'm sorry, and then kind of make up for it in some way. But yeah.
Mhm. Oh, this makes me think of something kind of funny. Um, when my kids were younger, when they were in the house still, I tried not to swear around them. And I did a pretty good job, because once you get in the habit of not swearing, you pretty much don't swear.
Yeah.
But I've had, I've been hit, my driving, and I've been hit from behind many times, and once on the whole side, by other people. At least once. I had 3 kids. It happened with each kid in the car at one point. And I don't know what it is, but as soon as I get hit, every swear word comes out of my mouth all in a jumble. God damn. And then I go, and look back. And I say, sorry that mommy swore. But that situation warranted it.
Yeah.
In other words, it warranted it. And so there are times when, swear
Yeah.
words all you got. And at that time when your car is getting hit,
Yeah, it's understandable. I mean, it's the first, like, you know how there's like the fight, flight, or freeze
yeah,
reaction. Yours is like it was fight right away. You're like, ah! So I
it's
think
funny how it's
it's
like every single one comes out all at once.
don't list them out, okay? Keep them for yourself for now.
Just imagine.
Podcast about parenting teenagers. We don't want any of that out, okay?
No.
Please. Uh,
Well, we'll end on that note.
and we'll also, check out the clip of Susan saying a swear word in one of the podcasts way back when.
Oh, yeah. Occasionally they slip. And you know what? Even when I'm working with teenagers now, I'll say to them, there are times when a swear word will fit perfectly right here because I'm making a point. So
Yeah,
and I tell them, if the situation warrants a swear word, you're welcome to say it too.
perfect. There we go. Heard it here first. It's okay to swear.
And I would say that to your kids too.
Yeah, as long as it's not hurting anyone.
Exactly.
There we go.
Well, once I had another time where a swear word slipped and my kids were in middle school and high school. And they're like, because I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to say that. It came out. And Mom, I hear it all day long at school. I'm
Yeah,
like, what?
yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. They were probably, I mean, I don't know. I'm making an assumption here, but they might have been using those words in school as well.
Maybe.
It's possible. Yep.
I sure did when I was in school.
Yeah,
Of course I did.
of course you did. No, we know. We know. All right.
Okay. All right.
Awesome.
Everyone, it's football season. I got my Seahawks gear on. I'm ready to go. Go Hawks.
I'm wearing a, look at that. That's Patrick from SpongeBob.
Oh yeah.
It looks like he's smoking something, but I don't think he is, just to be clear. It's just his mouth threading or something. He's just off. But yeah,
Okay.
it was a very PG episode, but it's fine.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
You guys got this. You got this. We're here. We're here to encourage you and help you along the way. And hopefully you're getting lots of value. Please ask us questions, subscribe, comment, all those things.
All of the above and all of the below.
And have a great day and love on your team.
Yes. And follow us everywhere if you want. On social media, subscribe, like Susan said. Leave a comment. Like it up. And we'll see you next week.
Okay.
Alrighty. Bye, everyone.